Created by Neil Druckmann and Craig Mason, Season 1 of The Last of Us follows Joel and Ellie 20 years after the Cordyceps outbreak as they travel across a post-apocalyptic America in search of the Fireflies. It's one of the best video game adaptations of all time, sticking faithfully to the source material while making some deviations in the process of translating the game's story into a TV series. In today's video, I'm going to go through these changes and break down 20 differences between The Last of Us Part 1 and Season 1. Here's your spoiler warning, so if you don't want to know what happens, go and come back once you're all caught up. Right, now that's out the way, let's get started, shall we? Number 1. The Talk Show. The series starts with a talk show in 1968, which sets the stage for what's to come as two epidemiologists discuss the prospect of a global pandemic, and Dr. Newman predicts the Cordyceps outbreak by claiming that global warming could force the fungus to adapt and infect humans, explaining why the outbreak occurs decades later. Number 2. Sarah Miller. Instead of jumping straight to the night of the outbreak like the game, the series takes the time to show us Sarah's day and the signs of the chaos to come, from her classmate's hand twitching to her being rushed out of the shop once Joel's watch is fixed. She starts to notice that things aren't what they seem, and she narrowly avoids getting infected herself when she doesn't eat the Adler's cookies and leaves before they turn. Number 3. Outbreak Day. The Cordyceps outbreak in the show happens on the 26th of September 2003, 10 years earlier than the game, setting the main story of The Last of Us in 2023 instead of 2033, which aligns with the show's release date and makes it feel more like a parallel timeline than an apocalyptic future. Number 4. How the infection spreads. Taking a more realistic approach to the world of The Last of Us, showrunners Neil Druckmann and Craig Mason chose not to include spores in the first season. Instead, the Cordyceps infection spreads through bites and tendrils, a new addition to the series. Number 5. Looking for Tommy. Instead of having an estranged relationship with his brother, Joel's motivation at the start of the series is to find him after he loses contact in Wyoming. He already plans to travel across the country with Tess after buying a car battery from Robert rather than guns, before he reluctantly agrees to smuggle Ellie for more supplies. Number 6. Jakarta. The series takes advantage of the opportunity to show us different perspectives during the earliest days of the Cordyceps infection. We learn of the origins of the outbreak in a flour mill in Jakarta. A scientist is brought in to examine the dead infected, and we get a sense of how unstoppable this force of nature is, when the only solution she has is to bomb the city and hope they wipe out the infection. Number 7. Ellie's immunity. With the Cordyceps not spreading through spores yet, the showrunners had to come up with another way in the series to convince Joel and Tess about Ellie's immunity. Instead of her breathing in spores, she gets bitten again in the museum before Tess compares their bites and tells Joel to deliver her to the Fireflies. Number 8. The Fungal Network. Based on actual science, the infected in the show are connected through a fungal network which grows underground and spreads for miles, so they can communicate with each other and detect humans from across great distances. So if you step on a patch of Cordyceps, they'll know where you are and they'll come for you. Number 9. Tess's death. Instead of being gunned down by a group of Federal soldiers who pursue them from Boston, an infected Tess stays behind to stop a Horde from following Joel and Ellie by igniting the State House with gasoline and grenades. Number 10. Bill and Frank. The show focuses an entire episode on Bill and Frank's relationship, which we see develop over 16 years, before the couple choose to leave the world together due to Frank's illness. By the time Joel and Ellie arrive in the town, they're already dead, whereas in the game they meet Bill and have to retrieve a car battery while fighting infected, where we discover Frank fell out with him and tried to leave the town before he hung himself after he became infected. Number 11. Kansas City. Instead of heading to Pittsburgh after leaving Bill's compound, Joel and Ellie go to Kansas City, where they encounter a threat original to the game. Instead of evading hunters, they have to escape the resistance and their leader, Kathleen, who has a personal vendetta against Henry and Sam and believes they're in league with them after they kill some of the rebels. Number 12. Henry and Sam. In the game, Henry isn't a collaborator for Fedra, who gives up Kathleen's brother in exchange for medicine. Sam isn't deaf. He's 13, not 8, and they come to Pittsburgh as part of a group who are separated and attacked by the hunters who ambush and kill survivors to take their supplies. Number 13. Sam's infection. With Sam being younger and thus more vulnerable in the series, his fear of turning into one of the infected makes him confide in Ellie about his bite, and she tries to cure him by rubbing her blood into his wound. It makes the eventual outcome even more devastating, as she tries and fails to save him, whereas she didn't know he was infected in the game until he turned. Number 14. Joel's panic attacks. Pedro Pascal's Joel is more vulnerable than his game counterpart. He's a 56-year-old man who struggles to get up a flight of stairs and is hard of hearing in his right ear. He starts to suffer from panic attacks because he fears he won't be able to protect Ellie, which is unique to the show. Number 15. Tommy and Maria. After Joel arrives in Jackson and reunites with Tommy, he discovers that he and his wife Maria are expecting a baby, which causes friction between the two brothers as Joel is reminded of his loss. This has huge ramifications for the show moving forward, beyond Season 1, so I can't get into it too much here, but making Tommy a father deviates from the game in interesting ways. Number 16. The Jackson community. With the benefit of hindsight, the showrunners are able to lay the groundwork for what's to come in future seasons, especially when Joel and Ellie arrive in Jackson. Without giving too much away, we get a glimpse of Dina, the girl, watching them, and meet Shimmer, the horse, before their official introduction later down the line. Number 17. Joel's injuries. Unable to avoid an altercation with raiders at the university, Joel seriously injured after he's stabbed with a broken baseball bat, but he comes off worse in the game, where he falls from a balcony onto a piece of metal and Ellie has to get him out while still being pursued by enemies. Number 18. Ellie's infection. Rather than fending off an entire horde of infected, Ellie and Riley's last night together in the mall proves just how dangerous one of them can be. A single bite can mean the difference between life and death, as they're both bitten during their fight. Number 19. The Horde by Silver Lake. Instead of staying by the campfire while they wait for his right-hand man James to return with antibiotics, David and Ellie are attacked by a horde of infected in the game, which gets Ellie and us to momentarily trust him as they fight them off together, before he reveals he knows who Ellie is and how Joel killed members of his community. Number 20. Ellie's birth. The game never explains how and why Ellie is immune, but this season answers that long-running mystery by flashing back to her birth. We see her mum, Anna, being bitten during labour, and learn that the fungus entered Ellie's system via her umbilical cord and mutated, so the Cordyceps think she's already infected. That's all for now, but I highly recommend playing the game or watching a walkthrough so you can experience both sides of the story. As someone who watched the first season before playing the game, I found it extremely rewarding to go back and see what was or wasn't brought to the show. If you enjoyed today's video, why not hit that like button and subscribe so you don't have to miss out on the next one? Or check out my Patreon or Ko-fi page if you want to support my channel. I've been Meteor Lord. Until next time, goodbye.